Welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. Got Corey, Alex, Jaimen, Jasan, and Randy's back with us this week. Jason, how was your trip?
Yes, so Jess's parents live in Florida, and they don't get up much because they're taking care of her grandmother. So we made a trip down there for the week when the kids had off at school. Got to do a couple cool things. On the way down, we stopped at Winthrop, which is where they have the USDGC.
Nice.
So that was a lot of cool. Played the gold layout without the ropes. But I don't know if you guys play that course, but it's like super compact. Like all the holes are right on top of one another. It does not feel that way when you're watching the coverage, but like when you play, you see so many holes from each other. There's Lake Winthrop there, and I packed 0 backup discs, like literally none, just my bag, not thinking they were going to play there. And then I got to hole 5, which is like this par 5, and you're like forced to do this enormous water carry at some point. And I had played the hole like perfectly, and to clear the water to the basket was like 402 feet, according to my rangefinder. I'm like, crap, I don't want to lose any of my discs. So I was going through what I had, and I forgot the day before Harry and I just played the ice bowl, and I got a trophy disc, which was a Valk. So I ended up using that on all the water holes. Cleared hole 5, no problem. Missed the putt and got a par. And then the next hole after that, hole 6, I sawed it off and lost the Valk right in the middle of the water. So there's a Valk with no name on it on hole 6 there.
You said that your rangefinder said 402, but what did the T sign say?
It's a par 5. It's like over 1,000 feet. So my second shot was 400 feet from the basket.
Okay, so this would have helped if I was here for the whole conversation. Damn it. Oh, idiot.
But yeah, so that was cool. Like just so many iconic holes there. If you like watch USCGC, I feel like every hole we'd step up to, I just recognized it. And then right near there is the East Coast Innova factory, warehouse, whatever, I guess it's the warehouse. So we got a tour of that, got to see how they stamp discs, and Heidi and G got these really cool Throw Pink custom discs. And Jess got to, see all the stuff for her Innova sponsorship. Moseyed on down to Florida, and we weren't planning on it, but apparently my in-laws live like 20 miles from Olympus Disc Golf Course, which is where they were hosting the first Elite Disc Golf Pro Tour event this year.
Where's that as far as in Florida?
Just north of Tampa.
Okay.
They're like 30, 40 minutes north of Tampa. The course, like I didn't really know much about it. When I got down there, I was like, looking at it, I'm like, oh, I wish we kind of planned this out. We can go see it. I named the town, and her father's like, yeah, that's right down the road. So bought tickets, went there, kind of checked it out on UDisc before, and the course is like 4.8 on UDisc. I'm like, man, this seems like a really good course if it's, what it's hyped up to be. So I went to go play like a practice round there, and I look on their website, and you have to be a member to play there. So I'm like, okay, I click on buy membership. It's like $2,500. I'm like, okay.
Holy crap.
Yep, not going to play there this week. So I was like, I'll just buy tickets to the Pro Tour, bring my father-in-law, go check it out. I learned later that they had like a Monday qualifier. And I was like, oh, if only I had known, because that would have been like the perfect way to kind of check out the course. Definitely would not have qualified there. That course is really tough. Doesn't look like it on camera, but those elevation changes are very intense. And there's a lot of like rough that's pretty nasty there that the pros don't end up in, but I would certainly be in them.
What did your father-in-law think of the experience?
Oh, he loved it.
Like a non-disc golfer.
We both played chess. So the chess.com aspect of it was really cool. And then like when we first got there, I had told him, I was like, yeah, there was like, rumor that Magnus Carlsen may be there, but I doubt he will be. And when we got there, everybody's like, oh yeah, Magnus is here. I'm like, oh crap. Again, I didn't have any discs, so I went to like a vendor there and bought a disc. I'm like, all right, if I see Magnus, I'm going to get it signed. But I didn't. So I have an extra buzz now. One thing about the event, having run like other events and stuff, that Elite Series brings in so many spectators and so many players and vendors and stuff. I mean, like it's enormous how much space they need. I've filled out some of the qualifier stuff for Mindkill, and they want to know how much parking you have. And, like you literally need to be able to park like thousands of people. And so they had an offsite parking that was a few miles away, and they had shuttle buses just going in a loop all the time to bring people to the course. So we went there on a Friday. I wasn't thinking there would be that many people there, and there was like a lot of people there. It was pretty impressive. But they had all the chess themes all over the place. They had a tent with just, I don't know, like 20 chessboards for people to play. They had like a giant chessboard thing. They had some other competitions there. Yeah, we got to see most of the top pros were there. Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki, all the big names were there except maybe Eagle and Kristen. I was kind of rooting for some of the people that I had picked my SkipAce, which totally blew up in my face, but I guess we'll get to that later.
I can't wait to get to that part of today's show.
But I did run into a few people that I was happy to see. I saw 2 former Mindkill champions. I saw Andrew Fish and Paul Kranz there. Really rooting for Paul to do well this year. He's touring most of the events. He's not going to go out to the West Coast, but he's doing the other ones. And he was PDGA Rookie of the Year last year, so I think he's going at it pretty hard. And his dad was there caddying for him, and great kid. I hope he does well. Then, we went back and watched the other rounds on Disc Golf Network, and I got my father-in-law. He was like kind of getting into the video stuff too. I kind of gave him some backstories on some of the players, and he's also kind of a baseball nut. So I told him that, Aaron Gossage has some lineage. It's like grandfather's cousin to the Goose, to Gossage. So like that was like the guy he was rooting for the rest of the time.
Did you tell him that it was Dylan Cease's property?
I did too, yeah. It's like, Dylan Cease, pitcher for the White Sox. And so I think those 2 things got him kind of invested a little bit more. He was really like amazed at how much it's grown, because Jess and I have been playing for a decade, and he's been kind of, seeing what we're doing. And he had went to the 2018 World Championships with me and actually caddied for me. So from him seeing a major 6 years ago to seeing a Pro Tour event now, I mean, he was just blown away with how far disc golf has grown. He was like, I can't believe how much bigger this is in such a short amount of time, which it's kind of crazy to look at that. Yeah, not too long ago, majors were, a fraction of what the Pro Tour is now.
The most important question, though, who does your father-in-law root for in baseball?
I have no idea. I know nothing about sports, Pat.
But he might have had a Yankee hat on or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably the Yankees or the Mets. But so the weather was great down there. I thought that the event was really compelling to watch both in person and on Disc Golf Network. I don't know what you guys thought, but I was happy to see AB win finally. I was getting really nervous for him towards the end.
Yeah.
He's been notorious for having a really strong lead going into the very end of the event and then just kind of giving it up, like choking. There was like 5 holes left and he had a 6-stroke lead, and the commentators like, oh, there's no way he can blow this now. And
Ken Clam was like, this is exactly what I like to have. 5 holes left, up 5 strokes or whatever. Like, you can't like fuck that up. And then he scores another one or whatever. And Philo's like, I like this even better. More strokes than holes left. And then, he almost blows it twice.
He gets double bogey and it gets it down to 2 strokes. And you see like there's a way that he can lose it on the last hole. But he came in clutch, hit both his tee shot and his up shot perfectly, and got it inside the circle and was able to lay up for an easy par to take the win.
When they kept flashing back to that other tournament where he just kept like emptying his bag on hole 18.
Yeah.
While wearing the same jersey. It was like a Diamondbacks jersey or something, whatever it is. But you were talking about how they had all those like chess things around.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the coverage was it hole 17 where him and on final round, him and AB both went OB on like the left side?
Yeah, final round.
Yeah. And Ricky nails that like 45 or 50, however long of a putt it was, and he raptor legs it in from underneath the tree. And all you see is the guy behind the basket. First of all, his shirt says layups are for basketball. And he's holding like a black pawn piece. And he's just like lifting it over his head, celebrating Ricky and the putt. And then you see it in the slow-mo. I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Especially like when AB was literally trying to lose it. And then like, the last hole, tough second shot, up the hill, OB everywhere.
Yeah. One kind of saving grace I thought he had was even going into last hole was that there's drop zones. Like if that were a situation where there were no drop zones, I think it would be easier to choke. But I think even just knowing that, or if he gets to there, he's not going to blow up. He can throw a B and then go to the drop zone and then screw that up and then go,
Yeah, drop zone would have saved him in that other tournament too.
Yeah, that's what happened. The other tournament, he emptied his bag because there was no drop zone. What tournament was that?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure.
I think it was European Open. But yeah, congrats to Evelina and AB for taking down their first Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the season.
The stat that popped out to me for Evelina was 100% putting circle 1X.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's all she's got to do, really.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying is that, man, if you made some putts.
On that note, though, it seemed like, man, there was a lot of putting struggles in this tournament. Like, I know round 1 was pretty windy. That makes sense. But even like in the final round, there was a lot of really good putters missing a lot of short putts. And it was kind of surprising. That almost kind of seemed like the theme of the event was just like not that great of putting from inside circle 1. Aaron Gossage was missing a bunch of them final round, which I think, I mean, putting isn't always his strong suit either. But yeah, it just seemed like some putting struggle bus riders.
Why do we think that is? Is it just like nerves, or were the baskets like weird or something?
I think it's just because it's like the start of the season. Maybe people are a little rusty.
Yeah.
Also, the way those baskets are positioned, I don't think it's the baskets, but there's a lot of risk in, I'd say, like half the basket placements.
Yeah.
Even if you're on a basket that doesn't have a lot of risk, I think it's kind of in the back of your mind that you need to be putting in a more conservative manner.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably the best reason to think of. Like Kyle Klein, like he was draining some putts, but man, he was whipping out a bunch of them. Nicholas Antila, I think he too was missing a few. A lot of cage hits. A lot of air balls, though. I think Gannon's usually a pretty strong putter from every distance, and he airballed quite a few in that last round.
Since we're already talking about it, we might as well go over SkipAce, right?
Hell yeah.
You could skip that. It's not
Well, last week when we recorded, hey, everybody make sure to get your picks in. And I made my picks like days before that, but I didn't realize I didn't actually sign up for the listener pool.
Oh, no.
I just did them for the generic SkipAce pool, so none of mine count. And I ended up getting 413 points, but they will not count. But we had 32 people signed up.
That's big.
Kevin Kroenke told me he didn't get signed up in time, so...
I think the 2 lowest get dropped, so there's still time to get in.
Oh, it's only 2?
I'm 99% sure that a majority, if not everyone, will forget to put in picks at least once.
At least once.
Yeah,
If you don't, you're going to win. So
yeah. Unless you keep getting negative 250 or something, then 0 would probably beat you on the year.
I did this a little hastily this year just to kind of get it done in time, but just to go over the rules quick, yes, the 2 lowest scores from the season will be dropped. We're doing MPO picks at 4, FPO picks at 2, salary caps at 60-30, which thanks Alex for reminding me, bump that up. I think it's still very tough even with only 60-30.
Really tight, yeah.
Probably could have went higher with that. I mean, we still can for future events, but it kind of does force you to look up some B tier players, I guess. And everything else is just default.
Are we planning on adding local events at some point?
Yeah. I guess Pat might help me with this. I'll give him my login info. But if there's any that are upcoming, let me know to add them. Because I can only add them when they have a PDJ event created. So I can add Mindkill. Mm-hmm. I guess we have the Fools Fest coming up. That'd probably be a good one to add. Let me do that now before I forget.
Do we want to set a bar before the season starts? Only B tiers and above, or do we also want to include everything local?
Well, we want to include as many local that makes sense. There's going to be a few where there's just not enough people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's at least my opinion, is as many local as makes sense.
No, I agree.
I think just kind of shooting from the hip, I think for local events, they'd probably have to have a pro field, like an MPO field of at least 12, 16 people. And even then it's probably pretty predictable who the winners are going to be.
Yeah.
But it's a free excuse to talk about them. That's my only feeling.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could always do our own picks on those as well. I mean, if it's just not enough people, which I don't know if people know this, but I kind of just wing this half the time. So I don't necessarily know what's coming down the pike as far as what tournaments are coming. But, we'll just try to do our best.
The Full Fest has 58 MPO, of which 6 are over 1,000 rated. And the FPO field is really strong. It's 16 FPO.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's a perfect candidate for a local picks. I'm going to add that one in right now. I don't know what you guys feel about the Syracuse Open, but that's got a pretty strong pro field too. We can add that. That's the weekend after Mindkill. It's probably a little far north for the listening pool area.
There's a lot of travel up there though too, right? Corey, you plan on playing it this year?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm planning on it.
So maybe not have if Corey's playing it. Why don't we do this? If Corey plays it, we don't use it. No,
there you go.
I'm playing a lot of tournaments, so I guess all the local ones.
Okay, so I got Fools Fest added. I'm gonna do Mindkill right now.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll go through. We had 32 players. Normally, I won't go through all of them, but since it's the first week, 32nd with negative 396 points. I'm actually beating somebody. Lefty Flick 21.
Sorry, Ross O'Toole.
Dude, I was blanking so hard. I have no idea why I was having a major brain fart. I'm like, damn, what the hell is his name?
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's Ross O'Toole.
It's 100% Ross O'Toole.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to call him Ron, though, and then I couldn't finish the rest of it. I'm like, why am I...
31st place with 216 points, Travis Bashore. I don't know why he's got a star next to his name. In 30th place, Jason Lasasso with 221 points. Got 221 more than I got. 29th place, Mike Warner, the Highland version.
Mm-hmm. It's important because there's two Mike Warners.
Yeah.
I played with both of them on a card one time. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. 28th place, we got Zach McDonald. 27th, Sean Partee. Jaimen Hume in 26th. It's not a putting competition, Jaimen. Sorry.
Clearly.
25th place, Kathleen Bemis at 441 points.
Be missing them picks, apparently.
24th place, Sparky. I assume Sparky Spalding. Jason Gorsage in 23rd. John, don't call me Josh Hafner in 22nd place with 530 points. 21st, Joe Gaspardi. 19th place is Jaws.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Who's that?
I'm like, I have no idea how to spell this, or how to say this.
Delta W subscript Z.
But that's Jaws in 19th place. Tied for 19th with Alex Potts, AMP.
Different picks, too, which is weird that we got the same number of points.
It's impressive.
Ryan Nelson in 18th behind Kyle Hirsch.
Kyle was clowning me for my picks before this started. I just kept telling him, you wait, buddy. What was he doing? He picked Zach Melton. Dude literally came 5th from dead last. Good job.
Well, we haven't said Corey's name yet. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
16th place is Yvonne Marmota. Mark Bryan in 15th. 14th place, we got Kate Disk.
I think that's
KD
Caitlin
Disc?
Clay.
That's Jake Clay, yep.
Oh, hey. 13th place, Harrison.
Lehman?
Or Bader, the center fielder for the Mets. But probably Lehman.
Maybe.
Willie Harrison, maybe?
Could be that, too.
Those are the only two Harrisons I know.
I think Harry's doing him this year. I don't know if that's him, but I'm pretty sure he's in SkipAce because I know talking with him, Josh, Wynn, and Brett. I think they're all doing it this year.
You weren't on when we talked about it, Jason. Are you doing the Empire Open?
Match play.
Yeah, it's kind of light right now. I'm surprised that more people haven't signed up. But if you're in our region, like the DisCap area, it makes perfect sense because you really won't have to travel at all. I think you'll travel to Burbine and Minekill. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's match play. It's not a big investment. It's like once a month, and you have a chance to win potentially a lot of money, but he's got to get the registration numbers up higher for that to happen.
And the first few, you don't even have to, it could be local, right? You could play them wherever you want.
Yeah, if I'm playing you, we can agree to play wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a default for the regions, but the way the brackets work out, I don't think anybody in our region is going to have to travel very far.
Well, if I'm playing you, we're playing in Middletown at the course you've never played before, and you're not getting a pre-round warm-up or anything. Just throwing it out there.
The reason why it's kind of local to our region is because the winner from the previous year gets to pick where finals are. And so since Harry won, he chose Minekill, the MKGC layout as the finals.
Are a lot of those dates already set as far as when semifinals are going to be, or are they kind of just approximately this time?
I think they're approximate. I think he targets a match a month.
Okay.
I think he had a date set last year, but he's kind of flexible with it. He understands there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, shoot. It looks like registration closes the 29th.
Of this month?
February 29th, 2024.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's going to happen because it doesn't seem like... Is there still
There are 10 players registered.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what Dylan will do, if he'll keep it going or not, but even if there's only 10, I'll still do it.
When's the first match is supposed to begin?
I think March. I think that's why he probably ended registration this month.
Yeah. Okay. So 12th place, we got Brian Bickersmith, former winner. 11th, Randy Bobandy. Got Brian by, 7 points?
Yeah, it changed after, at the end of the day, I was in 14th, I think. So those pending scores helped me out.
Yeah, I didn't point that out at the beginning. These are all still pending, but I think they're a little more finalized, for our purposes. Top 10, we got Shane Delimitor. 9th place, Austin Swart out for Corey. 8th place, Kristen McDonald. Got a nice early lead on Zach. 7th place, Rob Weast of the Mississippi.
Hey.
I told you, Rob. I tried to come on Facebook time. You're going to beat me. I ain't having it this year.
It's early. We got a tie for 5th between the mysterious AJ and Brian Monahan. Recognize AJ from last year. Does anybody know Brian Monahan?
I feel like I've heard the name before.
4th place, another previous winner, Mike Schwartz, the reigning champion. 3rd place, trying to be sneaky, Ryan Travis 148343.
I mean, can we even be sure that's the same guy?
That's true. That could actually be Randy Travis. 2nd place, 3 points behind the lead, Corey Cook.
That's me.
That's all you got? No.
Listen, I'm swinging for the fences this year. I got some people I'm not just trying to beat, but I'm just trying to murder them. And At this point, it's everyone below me.
Except for first place, 3 points ahead of you, Brandon Klein, my nemesis.
See, this is an interesting position for him to be like leading the entire league after the first round, because I'm pretty sure he smoked like the bottom third of the league last year, starting halfway into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm already down 986 points to this fool. So what if I can do? Man, I'd still be down 500 something points to him even if my scores counted. So that's crazy. So next up, March 7th through 10th is the DGPT and Prodigy presents Waco.
So that's not this weekend, it's next weekend.
Thank you, good call. And then the week after that is the Open at Austin. So after this weekend, we got 2 weekends in a row, Waco and Open. Jason, you were putting Syracuse net in. Did that all work? Any glitches?
Hit save changes. Kind of going through disc golf scene to see if there's any other.
I see Fools Fest on there now.
Okay.
I see MKDGC.
Mm-hmm.
You see Syracuse Open. Cool.
Yeah. All right. And then, we'll just, keep an eye out and anything you guys think of.
See, search for 100 miles for me.
While we're talking about tournaments, though, the day this comes out, if you're listening, for Alex, for clarification, if you've downloaded this episode and you're actually listening and you're not on it, release day is registration for the Helderberg Championship, right?
Uh-huh.
That would be Friday.
Yeah.
I appreciate the clarification.
I can't do the math from the time travel we do here, but yeah, it is.
It's a little tricky, but yeah. Anything else on SkipAce or the Pro Tour or anything?
You can make your picks right now for Waco.
Yep. I have picks for the next 7 events, except for Texas States, because apparently you can't make picks for those yet.
I think Kristen is rated way too high. I think I picked her every chance I got last year, and now it's like unreasonable.
She kills it.
She draws all the points.
Yeah. All the people I was choosing last year are like 1030 or above now. It's like impossible.
Yeah. It's too many good people.
She costs too much for you're better off picking someone like 940, 950s that can secure a top 5.
Corey's starting the misinformation campaign early, huh?
I mean, I'm just saying, man, I'm not the number 2 guy this year so far for no reason.
How did Paul Kranz do at the last tournament?
Not great.
Yeah.
Good enough to get positive points, though. So he was my budget pick, and it worked.
Got 52 points.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get really comfortable knowing who the 940 rated FPO players are.
I mean, literally just switching from Kristen to Missy Gannon is 20 points.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm doing my Austin picks right now, and I've got Missy Gannon, a bunch of pros. The highest rated MPO player is 1029, and a 940 rated FPO player, and that leaves you 1031. Yeah, I like it. This is a cool problem to have. It makes the picks a lot more interesting. That's what I liked about last year's. I learned a lot of new players. Sullivan Tipton being one of them. Cole Radalin. I mean, he kind of came onto the scene anyways, but I was picking him pretty early on.
James Proctor, too.
James, yeah, he's my favorite.
I can't pick him anymore. He's like 935 rated or something.
Yeah, some of the value picks of last year. It's like, Joel Freeman, no, 1035, Ezra Robinson, not even the good Robinson, is 1037.
Dude, Paul Kranz is rated, 1 point below Greg Barsby at this point. Paul Kranz isn't even a low budget pick.
He's rated 1 point higher than Greg Barsby.
Higher, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he's above Jeremy Colling, Nathan Queen, Paul Ulibarri, Brody Smith, Luke Humphreys, Casey. There are 3 Pauls playing in almost all these events, I will say.
Oh yeah, this would have been a good year for the all Paul team.
Yeah.
Ooh, Corey, are you looking at the Austin picks by any chance?
Not right now, but I can easily
pull them up and scroll all the way down.
Wait, hang on. I got an ad.
The name, page. Right?
Yep.
What are we looking for?
Oh, snap. The dude named so nice, they listed it twice. Duncan Carson. Nice. The dude's traveling. I thought I saw... Oh, wait, no. Maybe... Was it in Waco's picks? I thought someone was listed 3 fucking times. Oh, yeah, no. Kim
there was
Dickerson.
an FPO player, yeah.
Kimberly Dickerson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times she's listed. I made those picks today while I was at work, so just in case I don't forget.
I'm still recuperating from an 18-hour straight drive overnight from Florida.
Oh, you guys drove. 18 hours? What the hell? With the kids in the car?
Fast.
Yeah, with a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. Which they were great. I can't complain about our kids. They're absolutely great.
Does the math even compute? Can you make that drive legally in 18 hours?
It's like Cannonball Run.
We got 2 adults, so.
I just meant driving the speed limit.
Yeah. It was 18 hours of drive time. So it took almost a full day. Didn't help that we went out with her parents that morning and then had lunch and then left kind of late. But it worked out because then the kids slept most of the way through because we just kind of drove overnight, alternating driving and stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. But yeah, I'm still kind of recuperating from that and catching up on all the work that I missed last week and working on some other stuff too. I'll be unveiling a new fundraiser disc this week.
I saw you posted about Mindkill amateur side.
Kat Bemis will be taking the reins on that, which I'm very thankful for. Still be involved kind of transitioning, but I've been really focusing on the pro side and it's been a lot to juggle both. And I'd be struggling to do both this year. The AM side's going to be scaled down to a 1-day event. It's just going to make it better. We're going to be able to focus on that more and keep it simple. It's going to be the week after the pro side. So all the course amenities are going to be set up. Mindkill is going to be in the best shape it is all year, full experience for MKGC. And I think a lot of people will be happy that it's a 1 day because every year I get a lot of people saying, hey, I would have played, but I can't commit to a 2-day event. So curious to see how it fills up.
Instantly, probably.
Yeah.
Other than that, the pro side, I did update the registration dates. So there's some early registration for women's divisions, top pros, and whole sponsors that will open up a week from when this airs. And then I think everybody else is the following week. And it's on Disc Golf Scene. I'm going to release the disc thing this week. So that'll be out by the time this airs, but I'll just save that for next week. I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the thing first.
Nice.
Cool.
I think Alex has seen it and Jaimen's seen it.
Oh, man. I don't want to see it now.
Squad? I heard about this.
Yeah, so I did mention on the previous podcast, it's my first multi-foil design. So this has all of our regional courses in it, some Easter eggs built in there.
Oh, I see hole 8.
Have you actually got this?
We got all the discs actually before we left Florida, and I spent a lot of time today updating a website. We're going to have them available online just because it simplifies things. Last year, we had kind of only released them at Jess's event, which left a lot of people out. They couldn't make it to her event. So this year, we will have, just for a couple weeks, we'll have them online, and then we'll have them available when we do the leagues.
2 comments on this stamp. 1, I don't see a spot in here on the Hudson wide enough to put a football stadium, but it doesn't go south enough past Wilcox. That's all I'm saying. Maybrook should be on there. That's just
move this map north a little bit more because I want to try to include some of the Glens Falls courses that Jaimen's been putting in, and I think that there's a lot of good golf there, and it kind of ties in with our area. So
every one of these little like course nuggets, or even the Twin Bridges, are amazing. Like even like no one's gonna really get, except for some people, the Central Park car on fire, but there's also the roads there. Burbine obviously with the canoe, Prospect with the Troy sign, Kermit a Stonykill.
I didn't see the tornado at first, but that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that
basket
either.
Flying through the air, yeah.
That's a throwback to what happened at Stoneykill. I'm trying to keep it current, but the car on fire is an oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite ones for the Easter eggs.
The power lines at SPW.
They actually go in the map from Mindkill to SPW, which is actually true in real life too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you mean as far as the power lines?
Follow them. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what they look like.
Oh, and they come on halos? Damn.
Oh, yeah. Mostly all premium plastic. So Halo, some Color Champ Glow, a lot of Halo though.
That black and red with the gold foil is pretty...
Yeah, there's a lot of combinations between the color of the disc, the background color for like all the Easter eggs, and then the water is a different foil. So I asked them to keep most of the water blue, but they changed it up on, I'd say maybe like 20% of them. And there's some really interesting ones. I like all the ones that have gold water stamps. They look really cool. But yeah, so we've spent most this afternoon photographing all the discs, and we'll have them up this week and just doing some dry runs, make sure everything's working on the website.
Awesome.
Jason, you were still out of town for Team Challenge, or did you play this weekend?
No, I was out of town, or driving, but not around for Team Challenge.
So, well, your DisCaptain teams, were you guys at home?
Yep.
Against Mountainside?
Yep.
What was Mountainside's record going in?
0-4.
Oh, okay. And you guys were?
We're 0-4.
Oh, so whoever won this was getting their first win?
Yep.
All right. So we have 2 questions to answer. Who gets their first win, and does Corey get his first win?
No, I've won before in DisCaptains. Stop spreading rumors. That's a New York Team Challenge theme. It has nothing to do with how I didn't win my match at DisCaptains last weekend.
Where's Mountainside? Is that a Massachusetts team, right?
Yeah, the course is Mountainside. Somebody told me the name of the town, but it's around Springfield. So kind of central southern Mass, near the Connecticut border a little bit. Super fun course. We actually went there 2 years ago when Mountainside was in the C Pool last time, and we beat them at home. I think it was me and Tim in a playoff.
In the dark.
Yep, definitely in the dark.
Cold as fuck.
I remember it being dark more than I remember who's playing, and I think I'm one of the people who was playing. But yeah, so we beat them in a playoff. That was awesome. To go even further back, I want to say 2018. This is the team that delivered the DisCaptains their first ever home loss. The year that we went from the C Pool to the D Pool. Yeah, so back then they were called Crane 2. A lot of them were still wearing their old Crane 2 gear. But when the Mountainside course went in the ground, they switched over there because the people who kind of run things over at Crane aren't really huge fans of Team Challenge. So they were happy to get the second team out of there. But now they're Mountainside. They went up into the B Pool a couple of years ago and spent 1 year there and then got sent back down to the C Pool. And if things keep going the way they're going, it looks like they're going to go straight down to the D Pool. Yeah, so we had a good day. Matchups worked out really, really well, but everything kind of worked out in our favor. They weren't paying too much attention in the matchup, so we were able to get some things that I was really hoping for. We had our women matchup head-to-head, which did not help them at all. We ended up getting 2.5 points out of that. And then looking down the board, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards where we either won everything or got 1.5 points out of everything, which means we controlled the matchups pretty heavily on that. So went into lunch with a 15-5 lead and then kept it rolling in doubles. We only had a few losses, one of them being Greg Kurtz and I. We just kind of ran out of steam at the end and lost in a 3-hole playoff. But we finished that round with 15-6. So we won the day 30-11.
Strong showing.
Yep.
Thank you.
It was nice to go out there and just kind of kick some ass. You know, it's been a long season. It's been a very frustrating season for, I think, basically everybody. It was nice to go out there and just play at J Park and play loose and play strong and play confident.
How did your match go?
It went super well. This is a guy I played a few years ago. His name was David Normand the second. When I first scouted them 2 years ago, I thought it was David Normand the third, who's his son. Turned out to not be him. Very different guy, but super nice. So I played him in finals a few years ago and I got matched up against him again. Their team threw him out against me. I had thrown myself out. Super nice guy. A lot of fun. Played with Matt Cully that round, which is a lot of fun. It's always nice to see him carve up J Park because he's such a just expert on that course. He was able to win in a much tougher battle also. So it was fun. I got to mess around for the last 5 holes and didn't have to worry about anything and came back to a pretty good showing first round.
Just a side topic. You know, we kind of have a running thing where Dave Hudson, he's the CPS guy, right? He's probably the best player at CPS. Is there a best player at J Park, in your opinion?
If I had to bet money on anybody at J Park, it would be Harry Lehman.
Anybody have anybody different or agree?
I mean, Cully's, I don't know how many people actually call him that, but he is kind of the mayor of J Park.
I would put him in that conversation for sure.
Yeah, he's Harry-esque in the sense that, some days they just can't miss from inside 60 feet. They're nailing all their fairways, although Harry will do it with a backhand and Cully will be doing it with an overhand. But when they're hot, you literally think they could go 18 down if you're playing 18 holes.
So we could fill out the card with Tucker and Kyle with Harry and Matt, have 2 head-to-heads.
That would be interesting.
At J Park? All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other J Park battle of the ages is always going to be Harry and Jason.
Yeah.
True.
But is that just because Jason is really good at getting into Harry's head? Or no?
I don't know. You know, Jason's done an awful lot for J Park. I think a lot of people refer to Jason as the course pro for J Park, whatever that means in disc golf. But you know, I've lost an awful lot of playoffs to Jason at J Park, and be it dubs or tournaments or whatever.
All right, so now it's a 5-player card. Okay. No, I was just curious. It may be disputed, but there's a pretty much consensus. It's 2 or 3 for a course with that many different holes. That's still pretty. You know, you would expect there to be more than one. Is where I'm going with that. So Corey, how about your match?
Oh, my match. Yeah. Okay. So we played J East in the singles match, which is, the OG woods layout. I played with Thomas Rascona, and we started on hole 14, which is the first hole across the road after the par 4 field shot. I believe I threw last in the card, and threw it better than everybody else in the card. The guy that I played against, he probably had like a 40-footer, uphill, strong rollaway potential. I have like a 33-footer that I wasn't even concerned with running because I didn't want to cage it and lose the first hole. This fucking guy drains a 45-footer after like I laid up thinking that I could get into his head. And I'm like, great. I thought this is like what happened when I played against Kyle. So as like the round progressed, I kind of got myself into a little bit of a hole. I think I was down 2, maybe 3 at the worst part. And then about halfway through the round, it kind of flipped. I started birdieing a lot of holes, taking a lot of points on the other guy. And I think at one point I was up 4 with 5 to go. It was either up 4 with 5 to go or up 3 with 4 to go. And I lost a hole. And then I lost the next hole. Yeah, it was up 4 with 3 to go because then I lost the next hole. So now it's basically whatever the math works out. We're going to the last hole. I was 1 up and we're finishing on the par 4 field shot. Basically, I knew I couldn't lose the match, which felt good, but I figured I was going to do the same thing I tried to do on the very first hole, which was play smart golf, let him screw up. I think it was kind of windy in the morning and pretty cold throughout the day. So with the last hole having a lot of OB and chance to like take an easy bogey, I just tried to get a par. And then this freaking guy, he throws a shot that doesn't get very far. He's probably like 275 right near the trees that are in the field on that hole. I throw probably 80 feet further than he does. He basically needs to birdie the hole just to get a push, which means he has to try extra hard to get to the basket from where he's at because he's so far away. Pures the line. It digs right next to the basket. He's basically parked for a 3. I try to do the same thing. My shot goes a little long. I missed a putt. So this freaking guy, I'm up by 3 or 4 strokes coming down the back stretch of the round, and he somehow pulls his head out of his ass and just makes up the entire ground on me to walk away with a push.
So is he like the Tim Goyette of Mountainside?
No. This is the thing. Jaimen just can't give me a match. He's just consistently putting me up against their top guys every single time.
Hey, you were up 4 with 5. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I gotta find what this guy's name was again. Oh yeah, Tom T. Tom T. I mean, come on, Jaimen, just throw me a bone. Why is that always going to be their top guy every single time?
Corey, I'm pulling up the roster right this
No, you don't have to pull it up. I know he's their top guy.
Isn't that a good thing?
That I pushed him?
No. That he's putting you up against good matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're one of his guns. You're a gun.
I mean, yeah, I'm Corey Guns with 3 Z's.
Yeah. He's not putting you up against some schlub or something. He's putting you up against one of their better guys thinking you have a chance to get him a point.
And they might not be their top guy on paper, but that day it was 100% their top guys. I know Jaimen played the 1,000 rated guy at our other match, but he didn't play 1,000 rated that day. The guy I played against played 1020 rated.
Yeah. And just for the record, Corey was only at one of those matches, meaning that he only saw his match. He has no idea what he's talking about with mine.
That's fair.
So yeah, I pushed my singles match, which is better than a loss, but I would have much preferred to win.
You said you finished on a field hole. Which one? The par 4 field hole?
Hole 13, old hole 9, J North hole 17.
It finishes in by the creek.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, because I'm thinking there's 3. I'm thinking the tennis courts, the rock, and then that one. So I wasn't sure which one.
Yep, that third one.
Okay. Jaimen, did you mention that you were in a playoff on your dubs?
A little bit, yeah. I was playing with Greg Kurtz second round. So something kind of weird happened with the match. Not super weird, but the other team told us that they were going to be at 18 plus 3 for the morning and 17 plus 3 for the afternoon, which means they were going to have 18 guys and 3 women, and then one of their men was going to leave before the second round. And there's a rule in Team Challenge that you have to have the same amount of points for both rounds, or else, like, if a team was ahead, they could technically sit enough players to guarantee a win or make it a lot harder for the other team to win by limiting the amount of points available. So that's why that rule is there. So what we ended up doing is both teams sat a person first round so that we had the right number of players for the second round. And then during lunch, the player who was going to leave decided that he wasn't going to leave. So we actually had 1 extra point for the second round. So I had told Greg Kurtz and Josh Weinstock that if they wanted to sit this round out, that they could. They agreed to do that. Greg had his shoes off, had his feet up in Tim Giardini's car. And then we start matchups and the other team tells me that, oh, by the way, we actually have 1 extra player. So I get Josh and hey, go figure this out with Greg. See which one of you guys wants to play. And I get a text from Josh saying that Greg says he'll play, but only if he's paired up with Tim. But I got that after I had already put Tim out with Anthony Bohanski. So I was like, well, you're going to have to play with like Tim Jr., which is me. And we just kind of ran out of steam towards the end of the round. We missed a couple really simple holes. We didn't birdie 30, and that's the hole that put us into a tie, and we finished on 31 with a bunch of pars. And then we just kept going until we got to, I think, 34, and they took a birdie and we didn't. And that was it. For my money, the cardinal sin on that hole is to throw your upshot too high, and I threw my upshot too high. And that was that. They just kind of like pushed into the rough long enough so that they had a putt. We just had no putt, and they made theirs and we didn't. But yeah, that's the second team challenge match in a row that I lost my doubles match in a playoff. So that is something I'm going to be avoiding at all costs this weekend. Also, for the record, the guy that Corey played, numerically speaking, is their 8th player.
I mean, they just have a really stacked top half, and it could really, the best guy could be whoever shows up and had their Wheaties that morning. So
yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not saying any numbers.
You did say a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's more descriptive numbers.
The real question is, where does Corey sit on the DisCaptain side?
Bottom. I'm bottom. And always punching
tied for 5th. Well, tied for 5th when Jason wasn't there.
Okay.
I'm just saying, 5th versus 8th and home field advantage.
Alex,
you didn't lose.
Alex, if you want to wake up tomorrow,
you didn't
stop talking.
I will say the other tied for 5th person lost pretty badly, but then made it up really well in the second round, shooting a 48 on J South, which is blistering.
David.
Yeah, he had a tough morning. He didn't get a lot of sleep, but he got it together during lunch. Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, 48's insane. What's that, 11 under?
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever it is.
I think par's 59. He was playing with Muccelli, so they certainly had all the firepower, but that's still a really impressive score. Yeah, beat the other team by 9.
What about your dubs match, Corey?
Oh, yeah. So then I played with Thomas again. So me and Phyllis Raskinators, a northern brother, we went into doubles playing against the guy who I wanted to play against in singles, the other Corey on their team, spelled the correct way, Corey. So me and Thomas played against Corey and his partner Mike. We played South for doubles. That was another match that, like, me and Thomas were playing fairly well, but towards the end, we started running out of steam, and I'm pretty sure we were going in. We had, like, a lead through most of it. Not a lot, but, 1 or 2 strokes. But then, yeah, we just started running out of steam, and they ended up tying it up. We go into a playoff that I think was only 1 hole. We played hole 9, the creek hole, and yeah, we should have never lost that dubs match. I shouldn't have lost either of those matches. Definitely putting that one on me. Thomas played pretty well. Oh, we didn't really talk. Thomas smoked his singles match. I think he won 7 and 6. So he kind of walked around for the rest of that round. But yeah, I kind of brought him down a little bit on the doubles round. But fun day. It was cold as hell, of course, and the couple weeks where we're going to be surrounded by 50 to 60 degree weather. Saturday was the one day it didn't even reach 30 and had some gusty winds. So it was a rough day, but fun times. Even some of the mountainside guys hung out pretty late.
It's surprising that between the two of you, you guys only described 1 match win, and you guys won 30-11.
Yeah.
That's impressive to the rest of your team.
My job is to get everybody else wins.
Exactly. Jaimen, you alluded to something that they kind of screwed up. Is that something you can explain with the matchups in the first round? Or is it kind of hard to describe without knowing each of the players and such?
I can kind of explain it. So both teams had 3 women, and if we match up head to head, so like our best woman against theirs, and then so on and so forth, we win all 3 of those matches. But since I can only put out or match against 2 out of the 3, they should be able to get at least 1 point out of that by just moving things around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Like their best against your third best kind of thing.
Yeah. And they just didn't do that at all. I was able to do matchups so that they had to put out a woman first. So I had control over at least one of the matchups, but then I had to put out the next one, which means the last 2 they have control over, because it's like there's only so many choices. And if there's only 2 people left and you put out one of them, you know who the last person is. So they could have switched what they put out, but they decided to test their luck and put it out evenly, and it did not work out for them.
Do you always do men and then women, or vice versa? Or can you like mix in as you're making picks? Like you can throw out a guy, and the next time it's your turn to throw out a person, you can throw out a girl.
You can mix it up. You can do whatever you want. It just like numbers wise, it made sense that if they put out a woman first, then it was going to help us. So the home team has the ability to choose who puts out first in the first round, and the away team decides who puts out first in the second round.
So they would have gone guys all the way until the end, until they had no other choice. And then hopefully you almost have to hope that it works out that you have to put out a woman because that's all you have left, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's not so much hoping. I do the math and figure out exactly what my scenarios are and that kind of stuff. It did kind of throw me through a loop. They showed up with one less person than they were expecting, but it doesn't change the math too much. I basically just have on one side of my sheet of paper even scenarios and odd scenarios on the other. So that all worked out well that time. There have been matches where like other random things happen and I fail to take into account something, and then I realize later like, oh shit, I messed that up. But at the end of the day, we're all still playing disc golf and we're all still competitors. So I can do everything I possibly can for my matchups, and still the results are, totally random sometimes. One of the most memorable examples of that is actually when we played them last time at Mountainside. I had picked a bunch of double teams. So I was like, all right, these are guaranteed wins. And then these teams are going to have kind of a little bit more of an uphill battle, but still have a good chance at a win. And when we came back, all of the teams that I thought had an uphill battle had won, and all of the teams I thought were guaranteed wins had lost. So it was like, it didn't make any sense. Numbers wise, that didn't add up at all, but it worked out. We won that match. So at the end of the day, we still have to play disc golf. I'm just doing matchups.
Anything else about that match?
Spread was great.
Yeah, I was going to say, how was the spread?
Spread was pretty good. We had the obvious A-tier item, box of Uncrustable PB&J sandwiches. Was it Kenji's Thai curry chicken? Or who? I forget who brings that.
I think it was Weinstock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that shit always slaps. Oh, can't not talk about my boy Adam Selman's banana bread. I will mention that every single time.
Super good.
So good. I made like barbecue pulled chicken. Jeff had brought a keg of some stuff. Some like 6.5 or 6.5-ish% IPA. I brought a 30-pack of PBR.
Was that on the Rate the Spread page? Somebody deducted a point because somebody brought PBR?
Did.
And I really wanted to post. I bet that was Corey, and I didn't. Damn it.
Okay, but before I explain further, when I got to the park a little late, like 8:30-ish, Jeff was already there with the keg. I didn't see a single person with a beer in their hand. However, when I was walking across the parking lot with that 30-pack, one of their guys come up to me. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're awesome." And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Are those PBRs? Like, can I get one of those?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." So I dropped my stuff, opened the box, grabbed a beer, cracked it. I drank that one, though, because this guy's not going to have a PBR before me at the park. So then I gave him a beer. But the PBR got touched before the keg did.
Plus, it was Mike Jones, who doesn't he comment on every spread, even if he's not there? But he said 8.7 could have crested 9 if you didn't bring PBR.
So my question is, did we lose points for being the PBR? Like we would have had a 9 if there was no PBR there? Or
I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah. Oh, this guy sounds like an idiot.
Well, he usually puts like, 7.5 or something. He puts,
No, it's funny.
I disagree. I've had a PBR in my bag all day. That's part
he can say whatever numbers he wants. Unless he gives me a rubric, I'm not trusting him.
Exactly. All right, so the match of the year, we got Stonykillers at Team WeDGE. Alex, set it up for us.
All right. So I think the first thing that I should probably address is Stonekyll did bring in a handful of players for this match. I didn't have a ton of insight into this. I think Travis texted me the week before on like Thursday or something like that. So 9 days before that, he was reaching out to some people to try and to up our roster a little bit. One of which was Tom Oldfather, which is a classic Stonykiller, but he moved to Pennsylvania. And then a handful of Wilcox players and other players that Travis knows very well. So just wanted to have it out there because I think there was some controversy on the results page. People talking about us bringing in ringers. And, yes, we did bring in a chunk of players and they were pretty high rated, but I think we played well. And, it's not like these players are, they're just going to play for this one match and then never play again. Well, I guess Tom probably won't come back because he's living in Pennsylvania now. But the other three, I think, are intended to be more permanent players as we go forward in future years and all that.
We'll see about that, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see. But as far as singles went, matchups went pretty well. It's always nice to do matchups at FDR because they have the nice shelter there and the fire going. So even though it was pretty cold and the wind was going a bit, it was a nice, comfortable location for us to do matchups. Looking down the board, I think we got most of the pairings we were looking for. Nothing really jumped out at me as like, oh, that was a really good one for us to get, or that was a rough matchup for us. It came down at the end. We had 3 very strong players versus their 3 very strong players, and they ended up on a 6-some. And Randy can tell you more about that because he was on that card. But it was super cool because they were the last ones to come in, and it was all down to the last hole for all 3 of them. My match specifically, I went into it thinking I was probably a little bit of an underdog. And when Jack told us the layout we were playing, I realized that despite having played FDR, I think 6 times at this point, I had never played any of the yellow layouts.
Really?
Yeah, I had always played white.
That's crazy.
Played a couple of rounds with Jaimen prior to Fool's Fest last year, 2 rounds at Fool's Fest, 1 or 2 rounds just playing with family. But yeah, I wasn't able to play the AM side for Fool's Fest last year, so I'm not sure if they played yellows at all. But yeah, I've only played whites. Oh, and the last one was the JP ran league on the Sunday prior and played white. So round 1 was white front, yellow back. And that definitely didn't play to my strengths as much because the front 9 is the wooded 9, or at least more wooded than the back 9. And, my strengths are generally more power and distance than that. So that had me struggling a bit, but the other players on my card were all playing well. The guys we were playing against were, nice guys, except for the fact that they supported Tottenham for Premier League, which can't deal with that.
Who do you support?
Arsenal, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's something that Jack and I have in common. They were actually playing at 3:00, so I had the live scoring going while we were playing doubles.
What is that, like rugby or something?
Soccer. Soccer. Football for anyone who isn't American.
Association football.
Yeah. So, yeah, singles went pretty well. I'll figure Randy will tell you about his match. Mm-hmm. But that was the one we were all looking to see because going into that, I think we were up 2 points with just that 6-some to come in. So, Randy, you want to tell him about that?
Yeah, so I had never been on a 6-some in Team Challenge before, so I did not know it was going to take like 100 years to get through. At one point, we were halfway done, and we just came to refill our beers, and the ladies were eating plates of food, and I thought they were already done, and we still had 9 holes to play. So I was freaking out, and it turns out the ladies were just smart, and they took like a mini lunch break partway through their round as well. So pretty smart on their part. So for our 6-some, it was me versus Derek Stoltenberg, and then Chad Larson versus Ryan Nelson, who I did not know was going to be there.
Alex, did you know that?
I knew ahead of time, specifically because Travis told me, like, hey, we're trying to bring in a couple of players for this match. Is there anyone you would reach out to? And I'm like, well, Ryan Nelson's, in that general area. We might as well reach out to him.
Didn't you just say like 3 minutes ago they weren't all ringers?
They weren't ringers for that.
They're just players
purpose.
You wanted to bring in for that match.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as with Team Challenge, don't you have like a limit to how many people you can have play?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have roster moves.
I mean, yeah, you could throw in a ringer for one match, but doesn't that hurt you the rest of the season? In theory, if they don't play again.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the drawbacks. If you do bring in somebody for one match like that, it means you're pretty much down a roster spot for the rest of the year, which can be rough.
Yeah.
Because this match was pretty much, if we win it, we have a good chance of making playoffs. If we lose it, we're almost definitely out of playoffs. So couldn't hurt to, at the very least, reach out to people. So I texted Ryan, and he's like, nope, sorry, I'm playing for Wedge that day. So we ended up seeing him anyway.
All right, so you got Randy and Derek, Ryan and Chad. Who was the third matchup?
So the last one was Antonio Albert versus Tyler Calzada, which, yeah. And on the drive up, me and Tyler were basically saying, which one of us is going to play Antonio?
You mean 2022 Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast Player of the Year, Antonio Albert?
That is the one, yep.
New York State champion, too.
Yes. Yeah. And we know he plays FDR very well, so someone was going to get stuck playing it. And yeah, so 6-some, it was a battle the whole time. I don't know if it ever got more than 2 to 3 strokes at any point from any of the matchups. I think I let Derek get up about 3 strokes on me on the short holes. And luckily we started on hole 18, so we kind of played it like front 9, back 9. And then, yeah, I think everybody had a few weird holes, but pretty much it was just straight up good disc golf the whole time. And Antonio hit like a huge putt on the double basket.
15.
Yeah, and that was luckily the lower one, which is a little bit easier to run from, 50 feet or whatever. So he hit that to get himself up with just 2 holes left to play. I don't know. I think I got into the final hole 1 up, and then Ryan Nelson was up 1 as well. So on the final hole, it was like pretty much Antonio and Tyler. Like Tyler had to birdie and Chad Larson had to birdie, and then I just had to push the hole. So we played every single hole tight the whole way through. And I think I threw a good enough shot just to push the hole. I got to lay up, which was really comforting. And then, Tyler and Antonio, I think they both birdied it, unfortunately. So that was a win for FDR. And then I don't want to go too deep into it, but Chat had a very makeable putt to push that match with Ryan and hit at the cage. So
Oof.
It was a sad last putt of that round. But we walked back in with just me getting point versus their 2.
Yeah, that's something that I was struggling with that day too. Especially when I'm doing matchups early, I find I don't warm up nearly as much as I should. And my putting definitely suffered in this match, at least for the first round.
What hole did you start on, Alex?
I started on 2. So most of the whites out of the way early. With that card coming in, I think we were up 10-8, and then that card came in, so we were up 11-10 going into halftime. Yeah, spread was great. It's always nice, like I said, with the fire there, and they've got all sorts of warm food, all sorts of crock pots. They had this apple pie moonshine type of thing that that I was drinking. That was very good.
That was their strategy.
Needed to loosen up a bit, I guess. But yeah, that was all very good food. A lot of fun hanging out with those guys.
Who did you play with in dubs?
I ended up playing with Kevin Gordon. Yeah, Kevin Gordon. I'm blanking on my own team's name for some reason.
The tall card.
Yeah. So I was playing with Kevin, which is a classic pairing for Stonykill a lot of the times. But the issue is so many times we're playing, wooded courses, and it just ends up being Kevin dragging me through the course, kicking and screaming, and pretty much using his shots all the time. So it was nice to swap that up because we played yellow front, white back. Okay. So the wooded holes were a little bit easier and the open holes were a little bit longer. So I get to stretch out my distance a little bit. So that was very helpful.
But both rounds, half of it you had never played before.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you can call 15 never played before.
It's the double basket, but you play your approach shot totally different depending on which basket you're going to.
True.
I'm a little more aggressive going for yellow on the approach because it's a lower basket. But for the white, I'm wanting to lay it up because I don't want to have to putt to that high basket. So personally, I think it mixes it up. I don't know. You guys are better, so you might have a different opinion.
It definitely was a little bit different, but it's the same drive, which was the important bit. I ended up birdieing that in singles and had a drive that Kevin made the putt from for doubles for the birdie. So I was feeling good about that one.
As many times I played that, I probably can count on one hand how many times I've seen either yellow or white being birdied. So that's impressive to do it both around.
I absolutely nailed that drive. That was the one thing that I was really proud of in singles was I was at the tree behind the basket.
Oh, wow.
Probably about 30 feet deep and made that putt. So I was real happy with that.
Are you throwing just straight down the gut or what? Do you have like a line or what you're thinking?
I went with a turnover, full distance, turn it over. Hopefully I'm past the tree that's sort of in the middle of the fairway when it really gets over on it and then have it fade out towards the basket, hopefully.
All right. Now, mind you, I play with a lot of AMs, so it's not like, but still, that's an impressive shot. And to do it twice, that's awesome. Who'd you guys play?
We played against Ray Albino and Joe Gesick, both great guys. A ton of fun to play with. Felt like we were probably a little bit favored going in, and we ended up making good on that. We scored a 55 to their 57. So nothing too crazy happened that round, except for the fact that I hit 11 whites basket on my drive from 17's tee pad.
I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, when you said 11 whites basket, I was like, what? And then, but to explain from 17's tee pad, that's even a bigger what? What?
Yeah.
So we were driving on 17 and Ryan, Nelson, and Jack were playing doubles as a team, and they were coming up 11. And so I drive, I smack the tree directly in front of me, and it just spikes down 90 degrees left, slams into the cage on 11's basket, and they're yelling at me from halfway down the fairway, "What did you do?" So that was a fun moment towards the end of our round.
I would say hole 10 white from 18 tee pad. The fact that I haven't heard of a black ace on that is kind of surprising. And that's similar, but no, that's impressive. not in a way you want to. Kind of reminds me of what Jaimen was describing his shot on 11 a few weeks back, maybe a couple months back, where it ended up in the road on 11. That doesn't happen. But yeah, okay. I guess
certainly not what you're looking to do. But luckily that was doubles, so I didn't have to try and recover from over there.
And in that one, you were playing to white, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a big distance all the way back there. Yeah, we were pretty calm throughout our doubles. I liked the matchups a lot. I felt really good about our splits as far as teams. Like we were able to get, somebody with a pretty big arm and somebody who's pretty technical in the woods on pretty much every team. So I was feeling good with that. They had us there pretty close the entire time. We were just able to finish out with a couple of birdies on the yellows front nine, which helped. As we were coming in, the atmosphere around the scoreboard seemed pretty good for the Stonykillers. So we needed 5 doubles wins and a singles win or 6 doubles wins. And I want to say we had 4 doubles wins and a singles win when we came in with our win. So I think we were the ones who, quote unquote, officially locked it down. But, as the other cards started to come in, it was pretty clear that we were taking that one. So that always feels good.
Randy, who did you play with?
So I had Tyler Calzada, my pretty much life partner on the Stonykillers, unless one of us isn't there. And then we played Ryan and Jack, which I was very excited about because I hadn't actually talked to Jack before. I've seen him around.
Did you see Alex's shot on 17?
Oh yeah, I've heard it. I thought someone teed off on us from behind. I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah, I thought we were getting disc thrown at us, and then it turned out it was coming from the other way. Yeah, but it was loud. It was nice. But yeah, Jack and Ryan, I knew that matchup was going to be interesting just with scoring separations on the distances of the holes. I feel like we had a lot more birdie looks on some of the longer holes just because, they were basically going off of Ryan's tee shots a lot of the time on longer holes, although that didn't always work out and he took some of Jack's. But then, we're missing a circle 2 birdie look. So we're taking par and they're just, making their upshot from 200 feet and taking par. So it was tight the whole way through. We snuck a few points on them near the end because we started on hole 1. So we were coming through on the longer holes. We stole a few points back, and then we get to hole 18 and I'm not keeping score. Jack's doing score on paper and I haven't asked the whole time. So I'm pretty sure we're up 1 or 2, but I'm feeling okay. Right. And we all tee off. Ryan throws a great drive and then I throw one and I get probably 40 feet farther. So we're walking up to those lies and I'm we're all just going to make our up shots and we're going to walk away from this, birdie. It's going to be great. Ryan Nelson steps up and throws it in from 225 for the eagle.
Wow.
Runs and slaps me on the belly for some reason and then goes and gets his disc. And and now I think that we are pushing, we're going to go to a playoff. My heart just sinks. I don't know anything anymore. So we're all freaking out because we now have to make a 225-foot upshot, hopefully to park it, just to get a birdie, just to go into a playoff. Yeah. So I'm all freaked out. I throw my upshot. It looks good, but it goes to maybe 30 feet. And thank goodness Calzada puts one at 5 feet. And I'm running through playoff in my head at this point. We walk up and I pick up my disc and toss it in from 5. And Jax just says oh, good match. That was fun. And I was oh my God, it's over. Thank God. And we ended up having one on them at that point. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a really fun match though.
In your mind, where was the match at that point? I mean, the overall match.
So I thought it was close because I think Travis wandered out while I'm supposed to be making this upshot and he's kind of smiling, but I don't know what that means. So I'm I feel it's close. So now I'm even more thinking oh my God, this potential playoff could matter. But then once we won that one and he was Travis was standing right there and he's all smiles. So I was all right, we're doing okay.
You were talking earlier, you did a carpool?
Yeah. So Tyler Calzada and Carly, they just bought a house, I think a little bit farther north. It's Bolton Landing. I would say Lake George normally, but they're even a little bit farther north. So that would have been over a 3-hour drive for him to go straight to FDR. So he came to our place and crashed on Friday night. So we carpool on the way down just to save some energy for him.
Nice. So it was 11-10 after the first round, and you guys got him 13-8 in the second for 24-18 final. So what does that put your guys' record at?
So that brought us to 3-3, and it also brought Wedge to 3-3, which means whoever makes playoffs is totally up in the air. Other than Team Tank, I think there are 4 teams that can get to 4 wins. Yeah, so Dacey's at 3-2, Stonykill's at 3-3, Wedge is at 3-3, Pelham's at 2-3, and Chainsbury is at 2-3. So there's 5 teams that are vying for 3 playoff spots. And Pelham and Chainsbury are both going to be tough to get to 4 wins. Pelham still has to play Team Tank, which is almost definitely not going to go their way. And Chainsbury has to play Wedge and Dacey. So one of Dacey and Chainsbury is probably not going to get to 4 wins. So I think there's going to be Team Tank at undefeated, 2 teams at 4 wins, and 1 team at 3 and 4. And I'm not sure how the tiebreakers are going to work for that one.
You and Wedge are both 3-3, you said, right?
Yep.
And you've got them 44.59 point percentage to 43.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much that fluctuates match to match, but that seems pretty close. 1.59%.
I'm sure it's quite close, yeah. We're pretty confident we're going to beat the Goats. We've got the Goats at home, and they've been struggling a bit this year. I believe we beat them at their course last year. So, barring anything crazy, I think we're pretty comfortable at 4 wins. But, I don't want to commit to anything and jinx us.
They are a lot better this year because last year they only beat Flat Rock, I believe, whereas this year they've picked up 2 wins off of decent teams. So,
when's your next match?
Next week, Sunday. This coming Sunday.
You just said who it was against. Who was it? The Goats?
Goats, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Goats are definitely doing better than they did last year. This was the team that tried to get relegated and couldn't, or, inadvertently tried to get relegated and couldn't. So, glad to see they're doing better, but I am confident we're gonna get them.
And it shows Wedge at Chainsbury March 16th.
Yep, that's going to be another close one.
I didn't mention it before, but DisCap, your next match is next weekend as well, right? The Bombers? Or did you guys already mention that?
Yep, we've got our neutral match against the Bombers at Oakholm.
And then Bellamy on the 23rd of March.
Yep.
At home. Jaimen, I know you've got the math and all that. Any chance of finals for you guys?
No, we're long gone for finals. Yeah.
Your goal is non-relegation.
Yeah, our match helped out a ton this past weekend. I was looking at the numbers. So right now, our win percentage is 45%, and the next team down is 37.8.
And they got Mountainside next, Devons, the team that has 37.8.
They've got Mountainside, but it's at Mountainside. So it's a home match for Mountainside. I would be very, very surprised if Mountainside lost this one.
Okay.
But you never know. There's a lot of different things that can still happen.
Even if Devons wins, it's probably going to be a squeaker because they're playing at Mountainside.
Yeah.
So even with a win, they're not going to bump up their points percentage.
Yeah. Win-loss record, that's how you arrange them for the tiebreakers. So that's the biggest thing. As long as we win one of our next 2 matches, if we win both of them, we're home free. We're not worried about anything. But there is a scenario where we are tied 6th and 7th in wins, but still beat everybody with points percentage. But yeah, so it's always tough. I told the team today, Bombers have hands down the easiest schedule I think I've ever seen in Team Challenge. I've said it a lot, but as the season has progressed, it's just become truer and truer. Our division right now is Bombers, Barrie, Bellamy, Queen City, Rhode Island, DisCap, Devons, Mountainside, in that order. All right, so Bombers is first. Barrie, Bellamy, and Queen City are right now the other 3 teams in finals. And then it's Rhode Island, DisCap, Devons, and Mountainside on the outside. The Bombers, there are 3 home matches where the 2, 3, and 4 place. And then their away matches were 5, 7, and 8 place. And 6th place is their neutral match. That is as good of a schedule as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
You want the strong teams to come to you because that's where you have the most of an advantage. And then all of the teams that are below those strong teams, those are the ones that you want to go to because you have a chance of road wins.
Kind of the reverse of what happened to the Jura Lehman's Garage this year. They had a lot of tough road matches to begin the season.
Yeah, well, we had CPS come to home, but yeah, Minekill away, Saratoga away.
Burbine.
That's coming up, so we will see how that goes.
CPS lost to Burbine, that's the team.
And Stonykillers and Wedge hanging on to the 3rd and 4th spot. So
yeah, I think Wedge has a good chance of making playoffs. I think they definitely make it with a win, and I think they have a pretty good chance if they make it close to keep the points percentage pretty good. But yeah, I think Chainsbury is probably the team they need to beat.
I think I remember Jack saying either beat you guys or beat Chainsbury, and they're in good shape.
Yeah. I'd like to see us both make playoffs, but I'd like to see us both move up or both stay down. And with Team Tank in the mix, that's going to be complicated. for us both to move up. So we'll see.
Last week in Disc Golf, February 19th to 25th, Monday, we had Discap has a Monday tag league at Blatnick. I don't know if this is a one-off, but...
I think it was a one-off.
Oh, President's Day.
Ah, good point. Tie for third, Aaron Holtby and Austin Swartout shot +3. And there was a tie for first between Troy Vasari and Ryan Yadow. Nothing on Tuesday as usual. Wednesday, no deadbeat doubles. There was some skiing or snowboarding. I don't know what Jack and them do. But Northway Putting back from their Valentine's break, week 11. Juniors had 3 players. One of them were new. Third place, Olivia. Second place, Maceo and Granger came in first. Overall, Grayson's in third, Maddox in second, and Granger in first. Women's division, 33 players, 5 of which were new. Meredith P. came in third with a 6. Kat Bemis in second with an 8. And Caitlin Clay came in first with a 9. Overall, third place is Carly Calzada with a 62. Kat Bemis in second with a 67. And Caitlin Clay in first place with 107 points. In the men's division, 97 players in the men's division. 15 of which were new. And we had a 4-way tie for first place with 13 points. Mike T, Ryan B, Ryan J, and Jaimen H. Not saying this seals anything up, but let's take a look at the overall. We had a tie for third between the Joes, Riley and Karen, with a 137. This is where everything mixes up because you start eliminating the low round.
Yep.
Second place with 145, we have Tyler Calzada. And in first place at a 164, Jamin Hume. So that means you could sit out next week, and as long as nobody shoots a 20, you're in good shape.
I've been trying to do the math and figure it out. And and I'm horrible at the math, so I could very well be wrong, which would be really funny because this will come out after it all plays out anyways. So what I'm looking at is Tyler's lowest score is a 6. All right. So since the top 10 weeks happen, he has to replace that 6. So if he shot a 20, he would only get a 14-point boost. So
I see what you mean.
If I don't play at all this Wednesday, Tyler would have to shoot a 26 to beat me.
Okay.
If I go out and play and do better than 11, it just adds 1 for every stroke I do better than an 11 to what he needs to do to beat me. So far, the best round of the year has been, I think, a 23.
Who had that?
So, I did.
I knew you weren't going to pat your own self. I had to. Corey, does his math sound right?
Close enough. Close enough for government work.
But yeah, I mean, Tyler's a really good putter. 25 is not out of the question.
No.
I'm still practicing. I spent a bunch of time out there today on the practice basket. I'm going to try to shoot 20 to make it.
I was going to say,
impossible.
Why change anything? Just keep it going. One more week. Just do what you've been doing. Stick to it. I like it. All right. Oh, there was an ace. I didn't.
Oh, Aaron Holtby.
Oh, nice. I'm glad you remember because I didn't write it down. So Thursday wedge putting league, we're always a week behind from 2:15. They had 21 players, 6 first timers. MA4, 7 players. Zach Clark in third, and a tie for first between Zach Everett and Bobby Fair. M1, 9 players. Kristen McDonald in third. Sal Orsiano in second, and your winner, Griffin Nevin. MPO in the cash, second place, Will Tyler at a 140, and Chris Lucier, who donated his winnings, shot a 159. Also, he made a note, Andrew Jolson, who was the one who nudged Jason to get the league going for SkipAce. He donated his week 5 winnings to Wedge, plus his paying. So, Andrew Jolson, good job. Also on Thursday, Disc Beat Club Season 3, the penultimate week. We had a tie for 4th place between Dennis Daly and Ray Vaca. 3rd place, Steve Cotula. Kathleen Bemis in second with 16 points. And John Stevens, your winner, with 17 points.
John Stefan.
Is that his name? John Stefan? Okay. He don't spell it right. Overall standings with 1 week to go. 5th place with 43 points, Sparky Spalding. 4th place, 58.5 points, Greg Kurtz. Mel Gallagher in 3rd with 62 points. Mark Stryker in 2nd with 63.5. And your leader with 64 points, a half a point ahead of Mark Stryker, Kevin Kroenke. Corey, take a wild guess. Who do you think our guest is going to be next week?
Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it. Got it in one.
No, actually, I think we might be having Kevin Kroenke on next week.
All right, cool. Get some hot takes.
When this comes out, the final week will have already been played, but we'll talk about it next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and then by the time that episode comes out, the first week of the new season will have already been played. So it's like the worst time ever to have an episode. But hey, we're going to do it anyway. Bridgeport Thursday handicap. Dan O shot a +4. Nothing on Friday. Beacon finished their league, but they never posted final results. Saturday, Bridgeport Singles League. B Pool, Michael Marin shot a +4. A Pool, Matt Geffert shot a -5 to win that. Sunday, Long Island Sunday Dubs, ABC pairings, 1 through 8 GORE, +3A Green, 9 through 21 BORE. You know exactly what that means, Corey.
Yeah, I could envision it.
Yeah, exactly. Third place, we had Brian Bowe and Stephanie Tashner. Shot a -8 and a tie for first with a -9. Jonathan Yacht and Stan Doiskwitz. And they tied Hayden Cavalli and Nick Acevedo at that -9. Cranberry Sunday handicap, Todd Springer shot a -4 to win. Norbrook random doubles, Winter Thorn Canellis and Carter Thorn Canellis shot a -7 to win. Panthorn rando dubs, Newton Matthews and Adam Fasten shot a -7. And Wedge 2024 Winter League run by John JP Hafner. Mixed Amateur 2, we had a 3-way tie for third place. Matt Strickrod, Mike Warner, and Simon Ramon came in third. Paul 2 in second, and Robert Bennett is your MA2 winner. Women's Amateur 1, third place Heather Asselmeyer, second place Eva Prunyi, and your winner Kristen McDonald.
Hey, yo.
Mixed Amateur 1, we had a 3-way tie for first. They all shot a 54. That is Tomas Selez, Jake Yanoviak, and Christopher Lucier. And in Mixed Pro Open, third place Brandon Lockhart with a 59, Craig Henninger in second with a 57, and Nick Terabithia Terralavoro shot a 50. I've got a quiz here. Jason called the teams. He said Stonykill versus DisCaptains.
Makes sense.
Seems good to me.
You guys want to get a little taste of C-Pool action? Well, come get it from the team that's in 6th place with 1 win.
Who goes first? That's the question. You both won.
Should we give it to him, Jaimen?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Team Stonykill versus DisCaptains. All right. We got 2 categories, same as usual. Stonykillers. Category 1 or Category 2?
You got a preference?
2 worked out. Well, no, I lost last week, so let's go with 1.
Sounds good to me.
Category 1. Question 1. In myth, what real bird was believed to have access to the waters of creation, the source of all fertility? In myth, what real bird was believed to have access to the waters of creation, the source of all fertility?
Sounds like a stork.
That sounds good with me.
Yeah.
You guys go with stork?
I'm good with stork.
Is the stork a disc?
Is this one of those 4 rings discs? So I can't think of anything else.
Like, anytime it's an animal, I feel like there's a good chance it's Innova. But, yeah, it feels like it's a disc.
I don't think Innova has a stork, but I'll still go with it, yeah.
Yeah. Confirm, yes.
Discstroyer OU, May 28th, 2020.
Whoa.
All right. DisCaptains, what category? 1 or 2?
I'll go with the other one.
Corey?
Damn it, I pulled a Jaimen. I'm never muted. But yeah, I said, Jaimen, why don't you go ahead and pick this one?
All right, let's go with the other one. I don't remember which one they chose.
They chose 1, you're getting 2.
Sounds good.
Question 1, Category 2. Who laid down his first law of motion by finding an object's momentum is constant unless an outside force acts on the object? Who laid down his first law of motion by finding an object's momentum is consistent unless an outside force acts on the object?
Those are Isaac Newton's laws of motion, right, Corey?
Yeah, well, I haven't really heard it as the law of motion, but
whatever I don't know.
Listen, there's only 2 guys that they talk about. It's either Newton and his laws of physics or Einstein's theories of relativity. So, yeah, Newton.
All right. Newton.
Is the Newton a disc?
This is the part I'm not so sure about. I would typically say yes because of course it is.
Because of course it kind of sounds like a disc. It's a unit of force, right? Newtons.
The Newton, yeah. But do you know anything called the pound or the...
No. All right. If you're trying to say no, I'm fine with no.
Damn it. I'm trying. What typically happens in this situation? I convince you to say yes, and then it's no, and then I go, oh, damn it. So maybe we go no.
Let's do it. Let's go no. I think you've somehow sold that.
Yeah, we're no men today, Pat. No, because of course it is.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was going to say that's bound to be an MVP disc soon, but I don't think it is yet.
Yep.
All right, Stonykillers, what do you got? 1 or 2?
Back to 1?
I was going to say, do we go to their category? Because it might be MVP kind of vibe. And I think you know some of those.
I'm good either way.
Don't put it back on me.
Sure, let's go 2 then.
All right, question 2, category 2. What German for whom a unit of frequency is named was the first man to send and receive radio waves? What German for whom a unit of frequency is named was the first man to send and receive radio waves?
Sounds like a Hertz.
Yeah, I'm not going to list off other Germans with units of measurement named after them, because it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure frequency is Hertz.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is the Hertz a disc?
It's not an MVP disc, I don't think.
It sounds like a decent name.
It sounds like it should be a name.
I was banking on all of these being MVP discs, though. So
It doesn't seem like an MVP disc from what I'm remembering. I could be wrong, but my instinct is no.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Cool. Then confirming no.
You are correct. This captain, what category?
Oh, 1.
Category 1?
Yes,
switching it
sir,
up to?
please.
All right. Question 2, category 1. The New York Yankees have won 27 World Series titles. What National League team is a distant second with 11? The New York Yankees have won 27 World Series titles. What National League team is a distant second with 11?
I'm really glad we didn't go with category 1.
Yeah, no, thank goodness.
All right, so I want to say it's the Giants, Corey. I feel like it's the Giants or the Dodgers.
I'm going to be honest. I was so disappointed in the fact that I feel like I picked the wrong category. I didn't even hear the question, but I know it's baseball related, which means I'm probably not going to be any help anyways. So yes, whatever you just said.
Can I hear the question one more time, Pat, just so I don't completely
Absolutely.
botch it? Thank you.
The New York Yankees have won 27 World Series titles. What National League team is a distant second with 11?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Giants, if you're all right with that, Corey.
Okay, well, are they at least in the National League?
Yeah, that's why I asked the question again. I wanted to make sure I had that part right.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think, Stonykillers?
Oof. He said the Dodgers as the
That's
other
all right.
option.
It's not in Europe. They won't know.
Dodgers is not a good disc name, though.
It isn't. Giant was a good disc name. Like it is a disc.
You just like it because it describes you.
In World Series, I don't know National League versus American League. I don't know.
No, me either. This is
Yeah.
this is
Love
nightmare.
it. Perfect.
All right, let's stick with Dodgers then. Yeah,
Sure.
Going with the Dodgers?
sure.
We're looking for the Cardinals. Stokely
The
Disc.
we should've
February
just said a bird
19th,
team.
2024.
Wow. It's been a while since they were relevant.
Mm.
And that was a disc.
Yes, Stokely Discs, February 19th, 2024.
Stokely Discs. That's his second disc line, and this one's not named after weed strains.
Be a lot cooler if they were.
Yeah. Well, they already were.
Yeah.
Stonykillers, what category? 1 or 2?
All right. So I
You're up
think I've got a
4-2.
handle on both categories at this point. So I think we can go to either one.
I trust you because I don't know yet.
Let's go back to 2.
2, okay. Question 3, category 2. In the 1880s, Hertz observed the photoelectric effect, for which what famous man would win a Nobel Prize in 1921? In the 1880s, Heinrich Hertz, observed the photoelectric effect, for which what famous man would win a Nobel Prize in 1921?
Photoelectric effect is not something I'm familiar with.
No, this is
Well, let's think of unit names that are also person names.
ooh, okay, that's a good way to go about this. I guess is photoelectric how like all the particles of light, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like they're all the same thing, but they're just moving in different oscillations. Is that the photoelectric effect?
Could be.
Visible light, X-rays, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I don't know.
That didn't help. I think I know what we're talking about at this point.
Yeah. I have one name that I'm thinking of, but I'm not sure.
Say it.
It could be ohm, just because that's kind of electric, but it's not really.
That is a disc, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a question before too.
Could it be watt?
Ooh, let's go with that. Why not?
I like watt a lot more.
Yeah.
You guys go with what?
Yeah.
What do you think, DisCaptains?
Ooh.
So I was going to use Randy's explanation to go with Doppler. This is kind of a freebie. I don't know why I want to go with Doppler, but
I don't
Want me to repeat
exactly
it?
like it, but I don't know if I'll think of anything better. But yes, I would like you to repeat it, please.
Certainly. In the 1880s, Hertz observed the photoelectric effect, for which what famous man would win a Nobel Prize in 1921?
I like Randy's idea of, or Alex, whoever said it, that it's a unit of measurement of something. A photoelectric effect. That sounds like a photoelectric. Would that be like an arc or a flash?
I'm assuming that photos are talking about photons. So it's talking
Yeah.
about light.
Yep.
This is what happens when a band teacher and a computer programmer try to talk through science.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what unit of measure for.
Yeah, and that's Watt makes sense for that, but it's not the answer.
Lumen.
I thought it was JJ Watt too. Just on my
Photo of that, like lumen is a light-related unit of measure.
I'm not coming up with anything. Lumen is starting to sound like something.
Photoelectric. 1920s. You don't know your 1920s
Scientists? No.
Nobel Peace Prize winners or whatever.
It's a large gap in my knowledge is scientists from the 1920s.
got about 20 seconds.
We're not going to need all 20, but my best guess is lumen.
All right, let's go with it. This feels like a good old-fashioned Corey pulling something out of his ass.
I don't feel good about this one, but I like it better than whatever you said.
I like it better than my answer, too.
Yeah, let's go with lumen.
All right. We were looking for Einstein.
No way, bro. I was going to fucking say that, but I'm like, there's no way there's a disc called the Einstein.
Bernoulli, February 19th, 2024.
Oh, damn it. I knew. That was legit. I didn't want to sound stupid and say Einstein, but he's only like 1920s Nobel Peace Prize winner I could think of.
And that's why I had to ask the question like that, because everybody knows everything else about Einstein except that he won a Nobel for the photoelectric effect.
Damn it. I failed this.
Among other things, but that was one of them, yeah.
The one time I didn't want to sound stupid.
So that was a steal, but now it's your regular question.
Yep.
What category, 1 or 2? It's still 4-2 Stony Killers.
Yeah.
This could be for the tie,
So
potentially.
let's even this back up. What do you got, Corey? What should we go with?
Oh, I thought that meant that you wanted to go with category 1.
Oh, I don't care. You're the one that's picking them. I'm fine with that.
Just to be clear, Pat, have we had 3 questions in 2 and 2 in 1?
There have been 3 in category 2, 2 in category 1.
Oh, you want to even it out, Jaimen? Let's go even it out and go back to 1.
Okay.
All right. Question 3, category 1. What state bird was named for the English lord who founded Maryland? What state bird was named for the English lord who founded Maryland?
Is it Oriole? Like the Baltimore Orioles?
Maryland, Baltimore, Orioles, state bird, Oriole.
Oh, wait, and it's bird. Oh, duh, it's birds, you fucking idiot. Sorry.
Wait, who was the idiot in that? Me or
Me.
you? Oh.
I'm like, oh, yeah, it's got to be a bird. I was like, of course it's got to be a bird. That's the freaking question.
What was the country of origin of this jabroni?
England.
England. English lord who founded Maryland.
Oriole, yes, I suppose that could sound English. Yeah, I like it. I'm not a very big bird guy. Oh, we got to Brandy's the bird guy in this group. I'm pretty sure I've seen his Instagram pictures. So we got to get this right.
That's the only Maryland bird I can get. If the answer is blue crabs, I'm going to be pissed.
I'm cool with it. Oriole.
Is the Oriole a disc?
Nice.
I got to invest in ropes that Jaimen was telling me about like a year or 2 ago for my dry erase markers. Tie a rope at the end of it and swing it around.
It works, I promise.
No, I 100% believe you, but I just keep forgetting to do it.
Jaimen, how would you say you spell Oriole?
Oriole.
Okay,
no
the
bonus
E
points for that,
I spelled it without the E. And
Did I spell it right?
Yeah, you did. No, but no
That's
bonus.
how I had it spelled.
That is a weird looking word. I don't like it. And for that reason, I want to say no. I'm a big no man today. No, because of course it isn't.
I kind of want to say yes. I feel like I remember seeing this one recently and being like, too bad fish throws discraft. I feel like that thought went through my brain.
That's better reasoning than mine. So sure, yeah.
All right.
It is.
I'm sorry, no.
Sorry.
Damn, I thought we were no men.
I will admit, though, that I double-checked it after Jaimen said that because he sounded very convincing.
I swear to God, I remember this happening.
So it's 4-3 Stony Killers. What category? We got 3 questions in each. 1 or 2.
I'm completely torn now on the categories, knowing one of them is birds, which I like birds.
So one is birds and 2 is, science people.
Yeah.
Or at least from what I've seen. So I'm good either way.
Maybe we stick with science people so we have the first chance at guessing if it's a disc. Maybe.
Sure.
So category 2.
Yeah.
Question 4. A change in frequency because of motion is named for what Australian mathematician who first explained it? A change in frequency because of motion is named for what Austrian? Did I say Australian? Austrian mathematician who first explained it.
I'm pretty sure that is Doppler.
I was going to say it's Doppler as well. Yep.
Is the Doppler a disc?
I could not message Jaimen fast enough to be like, LOL, rip.
Yeah.
Now, did he say the Doppler was a disc?
I have no idea. It sounds like a fun disc name.
I would like it to be a disc, so I'm happy saying yes.
Yeah, let's go with it.
I'm sorry, no.
LOL,
All right.
rip.
What do you got? DisCaptains down 5-3.
You know your birds, Jaimen?
I know my birds better than I know my scientists.
Okay. Yeah. Let's stick with that then.
All right. Question 4, category 1. What word used to describe the young of any bird begins the name of the state bird of Massachusetts? What word used to describe the young of any bird begins the name of the state bird of Massachusetts?
Wait, Jaimen. Wait.
I'm waiting.
Is fletching? Is that close? Is that anywhere close?
A fledgling?
Fledgling? Is that the word I was trying to think of?
Yeah, I think a fletching has to do with a bow and arrow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I said.
That's also
fletching.
Feathers.
You heard fletching.
A fledgling? Is that a bird?
No. Okay. I'm gonna go back to not answering bird questions. What was your answer gonna be?
Oh, I didn't have one yet.
Oh,
You said wait. So
well, I just assumed you knew it, so I was just gonna try to answer it first. But
oh, big mistake.
might need a repeat.
Yeah, please.
I'm actually looking at this. It's a flawed question.
Perfect.
Oh.
You get it.
So it's
Boom.
not.
2 points. No, Randy, of course he knows the answer. He's from Massachusetts. He's a biology major. Doesn't count. He's an anomaly.
The question, as I have it worded, what word used to describe the young of any bird begins the name of the state bird of Massachusetts?
Is there a better way that you think you should ask the question?
What I would have reworded it as, the word used to describe the young of any bird begins what state bird of Massachusetts? So I'm not looking for the word that's used to describe the young of any bird. I'm looking for the state bird of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you call a baby bird, Jaimen?
I'm blanking right now, Corey. Do you have any idea? Think of something.
Don't do it, Corey.
The young of any bird. What do you call a baby chicken?
A hatchling?
The hash-slinging slasher.
Hatchling is what I said.
The young of any bird, though. The young of any bird. So I guess a hatchling.
Is it a chickadee? A chick?
A chick.
Could it be a black-capped chickadee?
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. A chick does sound. Would you say that a young chicken would be called a chick?
I think that's something that you would call a baby bird, right?
Yeah. I mean, chick. Okay, but the answer would be chickadee?
Yeah,
Right.
a black-capped chickadee is a very common bird. I don't know if it's the state bird of Massachusetts. Come on, Massachusetts, try harder if that's the answer.
Yeah, I like it. That seems to check all the boxes.
Okay, yeah, at least we're going to go down swinging.
Yeah.
With chickadee
Mm-hmm.
is the chickadee.
Yes.
Nice.
But do you see where my confusion? Like, if I had said what word used to describe the young of any word begins the name of the state bird of Massachusetts, you could have said chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's not the answer I was looking for. I was looking for chickadee.
Mm-hmm.
All that being said, is the chickadee a disc?
I don't think so. We're no men, right?
Well, we were no men until you switched us, and then we got it wrong.
And it didn't work. It bit us. Maybe we should go back to our roots.
But, I mean, you said the chickadee is a pretty common bird. I mean, we have eagles, and is there like a robin? Or
You could fit a chickadee in your pocket, Corey. They're really small.
Bring your chickadee to work day.
What
I
does
think
that have to do?
I think we say yes, because of course it is.
Okay, I'm going with
Yes.
Corey on this one.
Yep, it's a disc.
Grassland Discs, February 22nd, 2024.
Great job, Corey.
Officially bring your chickadee to work
Corey
day.
said, "What do you call a baby chicken?" And I had to mute.
I lost my mind. Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, So, 4 questions left. It is tied 5-5.
Go team.
Stonykillers, 1 or 2.
Good either way. Still,
They don't really know birds, but somehow they get them right. So.
I have a bird clock, I'll have you know.
Yeah, Jaimen knows
It was
birds.
probably on there.
A black-capped chickadee is absolutely on there. It's one of the 2 birds I actually know. Not to give away too much.
stick with scientists and hope they mess up a bird.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
All right, question 5, category 2. What physicist known for his uncertainty principle was awarded the 1932 Nobel Prize in Physics for the creation of quantum mechanics? What physicist known for his uncertainty principle was awarded the 1932 Nobel Prize in Physics for the creation of quantum mechanics?
So this would be Schrodinger, as in his cat, being unsure if he's alive or not.
I thought it was Heisenberg.
Oh no. What year?
32.
Gosh.
Wasn't that the meth guy
Yeah,
Well, he was the German atomic bomb guy as well.
as well?
I thought it was the Heisenberg uncertainty principle
Oh no.
that talks about, if you know how fast you're going, you don't know where you are, and if you know where you are, you don't know how fast you're going.
I like yours more than mine, because Schrodinger is not a physicist either. He's a psychologist or something, isn't he? I'm
Possibly.
now running out of. Oh yeah, go with yours.
All right, let's go with Heisenberg.
Is the Heisenberg a disc?
I feel like somebody just capitalizing on Breaking Bad might have made a Heisenberg. I don't know.
Yeah, there was somebody who made an Einstein, so I feel like yes is a good answer.
All right, let's go with it.
I'm sorry, no.
No.
DisCaptains, 1 or 2?
Oh wait, that wasn't the final.
No, that was
No, they
question
go
5
first.
in category 2.
Yeah, there's still 3 questions left.
Oh, I thought there was only gonna be one
It
left.
took you an hour to think of chickadee.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
I think we stick with one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have not known any of these scientists.
Other than Doppler, and I thought I knew Einstein, and we did know Newton. I would not have gotten a Heisenberg.
Nope.
So,
Yeah, let's just get it right so they don't get it.
Yep, birds.
All right. Question 5, category 1. Mythology says Hera was so fond of what birds that she adorned their tails with the eyes of her love Argus. Mythology says Hera was so fond of what birds that she adorned their tails with the eyes of her love Argus.
Wait, Jaimen, wait. Are they peacocks?
Oh,
Cax.
Peacock.
that's a good answer. I would not have thought of that.
They're the only birds I could think of that have
Yeah,
lines
no,
on
I
their
think you're absolutely right. They have eyes on their feathers. I would not have considered that at all.
Did you consider anything else?
I considered that we were fucked.
I mean, the only thing that I could think of that has eyes are potatoes if you let them go for too long. So I believe the answer would be peacocks.
You go with that, Jamin?
Yep.
Is the peacock a disc?
Good thinking, Corey.
Always got cocks on the mind.
All right, is it a disc?
Is it a disc? No, that's
You've been reasoning through this beautifully. I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, as the once great Mark Wahlberg said, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. Of course, it's a disc.
All right.
Going yes?
Yep.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, the peacocks.
Final round, we're tied at 6.
All right, nice. We've made it this far, and we get the last stab at it. So
You got the hammer. Stonykillers, what category? 1 or 2? 1 question in each.
So now the question is, do we try to steal the last bird question so that they have to try and answer a scientist question?
I agree. I think that's our best shot.
All right. I like that plan.
Corey, do you know there's strategy involved in this?
Yeah, no, I thought they were playing it right before by thinking that we were going to lose the birds, so that they're the ones. But then we just been
The
crushed.
thing is, you haven't lost a bird yet.
All right, question 6, category 1. What is the current name of the NBA team that began as the Jazz in 1974? What is the current name of the NBA team that began as the Jazz in 1974?
How did this turn into a sports category?
Yes, Jaimen knows basketball. I can't wait for it to come to us.
I can.
What are birds that are basketball teams?
And it's newish, which doesn't help.
Yeah. The current name of the Jazz is obviously the Utah Jazz. Like that's just how it works. What do we got? The Pelicans is a team.
That is a team.
Are there other bird team names?
I mean, Raptors is not really a bird name, but it's all I can think of.
It's not the Knicks, not the Celtics. It's not the Lakers. It's not the Golden Knights.
It's not the Heat. Can we do this until we get through 30-something teams?
If you keep throwing in random hockey teams, you can go all night.
Does that
That's
Golden Knights?
really odd.
You did say Golden Knights.
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Well, it's playing. Cavaliers are not birds.
They have feathers on the helmet, though.
True.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Is Pelicans the only one we've thought of at all?
The only one I can think of. That's a
All
bird.
What about the Mighty Ducks?
That is definitely a hockey team.
That could be it.
And they took the Mighty away.
Yeah, they're just the Ducks now.
Oof, lost our identity.
Ducks would be a terrible. Is Pelicans a good? I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Final answer, Pelicans?
Final answer, Pelicans.
Well, they played in New Orleans, where the Jazz would make sense. So is the Pelican a disc?
No.
Hey, got there. Is the Pelican a disc?
Is there another NBA bird team? I didn't really think of that when I wrote.
I couldn't think of one.
No, I couldn't think of one at all.
I mean, I couldn't think. I named every NBA team I could think of.
I
So,
just watch basketball.
is the Pelican a disc?
I kind of like it, but that doesn't mean anything because I like all bird names. For this.
Pelican definitely seems like.
Atlanta Hawks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure it's a legit question.
Pelican sounds like a good disc name to me. I'm happy
I
with yes.
agree. Yeah, let's go with it.
Aquaflight Discs, January 7th, 2016.
All right. Best they can do is tie.
Yep. Final question for the DisCaptains. Discus hurlers can throw farther into a headwind. Increased speed of air over the discus creates lift per what Swiss man's principle? Disc hurlers can throw farther into a headwind. Increased speed of air over the discus creates lift per what Swiss man's principle?
Oh, man.
Is it not Bernoulli?
Oh, that's what I was going to say, the Bernoulli effect.
Yeah, the principal
something-
thing kind of got me a little tripped up, but it's use the Bernoulli effect for air flowing over a teardrop.
Yeah, over a wing.
Like a wing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I say Bernoulli.
There's a fun band trick with the Bernoulli effect.
Really?
You have to elaborate now.
I will after.
You guys go with that?
Yes.
Is the Bernoulli a disc?
This is the hard part.
If the other two scientists were like one that has to is like a nod to flight, I feel like it has to be in that same vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this would almost be like, how could there not be a lift already, or a?
Yeah. I feel like it's that same company just released a whole bunch of discs all at the same time.
Yes, it's a disc because of course it is, and it better damn well be.
You go with that, Jim?
Answer.
Yep.
Bernoulli discs, February 5th.
I thought it was ridiculous because he said Bernoulli discs earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but makes it Bernoulli.
That's bad branding. Bernoulli.
Yeah. What is that? Like,
oh my gosh.
Bad Company by Bad Company.
Yeah.
Off of the album Bad Company.
Or the song Big Country from the band Big Country.
Yeah.
All right. So the DisCaptains squeak it by with a 9-8 victory.
Did they?
Wait, is it a tie?
It was a tie.
No, yes, something we won. Oh, okay, and that's it for this episode. Thanks, Pat.
Was it a tie?
We
just
got
took two on the
Pelicans,
last
and
one.
we got that Pelicans were a disc.
Oh, I didn't.
It was
I
a
didn't
tie
give you
going into
point.
the end.
I couldn't have hit that stop recording button. Just
I don't really have a fair tiebreaker question, so I think we have to stick with the tie unless anybody has a better idea. I have a question, but then who's going to get it first? And
I think me and Corey versus Alex and Randy straight up doubles. Jay North.
oh
I
yeah.
like it.
I'd be interested in that.
Alex and Randy both can't hit a gap.
It's true.
Wow.
And now neither can we.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to hit it, but I know what I've seen.
We got to congratulate Jason for his choice of team picking. So it ended up 9-9.
I think 8-8 is what I had in my head, but I could be wrong.
And maybe I get it was tied.
Same,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex, Corey, Jason, Jaimen, and Randy. Thanks for coming on again. And sweet up, Hudson.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, guys.
What are you using? Internet Explorer? Not even Edge? Chromium?
One trick is just refresh your screen, and a lot of stuff
Yeah.
resolves. It's
Actually,
weird like
Randy's probably an Opera GX guy, just to be different.
that. Mm.
No.
I figured Jaimen would be more the opera guy.
I do drive a Sonata for whatever that's worth.
That's something.
Nice.
Is sonata a musical term?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a second. Yeah,
What's
like-
the definition of a sonata?
It's a style of music. It's usually a solo instrument with a piano accompaniment.
Damn, that
But
shit
it's like a whole
slaps.
form.
Give me some like metal or punk goes sonata. Like
What?
where they have like punk goes hip hop or like rock goes country, and it's like remixes.
Yeah.
Give me some remixes of some punk songs, but in sonata, if I'm using that word correctly.
I think it'd be more likely to have a sonata that a punk band covered.
the other
Yeah,
way you're
the other
saying,
way
like
around.
Sonata 2.
Yeah. A
Punk.
sonata is not a genre of music. It's a type of music, like a symphony or a concerto or something like that. They exist through a bunch of different phases of music history. I don't know how to describe these to you, Corey.
I just feel like if I Google sonata, Google's going to know me enough to just show me sonatas from like 1985.
They're going to show you a
Yeah.
Hyundai. That's what they're gonna show you.
But now sonata music.
It's like a specific type of form of music.
Did you literally Google this before you answered that? Because I feel like this definition is like word for word what you said.
Me?
Type of musical composition, usually for like a solo instrument or a small
It's
instrument
almost as if
ensemble.
Jaimen teaches these things.
Yeah, it's almost like I went to college for this or something.
Consists of 2 to 4 movements or sections, each in a related key but with a unique musical character. What's a movement?
Like a section of the song.
Like a is that a movement?
No.
I don't know if we have time for all this.
All right. So, like, imagine a movement as like a track on a CD. Like the CD is like one album. It's like one concept or whatever. It's one musical idea, but each song is different. They're all different movements to the same kind of concept.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
All right. Well,